Hello, welcome to Level Up and Learn. I am Shawn,
I am Taylor Ricker.
and we're here today to kind of walk you through some of our modules and some of our standards. We're actually going to be showcasing a bunch of other DLCs, and they're going to help us learn and grow together. So the first one we're going to look at is Callie Ervin, and she's going to be walking through us in a Google Drive segment. Today's focus is going to be over folders, but Google Drive really hits on multiple modules for helping us get going on blended learning, whether it's organizing our teachers, organizing our students, but even then it goes well into our Kentucky standards for technology.
Yeah, so they are kind of starting off with small little tips and tricks, but getting a little bit harder throughout.
Very good. So we'll jump right in for Callie, and we thank her for giving us opportunity to showcase some of the things that she is going to give to us today.
So today our first tip is going to be creating folders and subfolders in your Google Drive. So in order to get started, we're going to go actually into our Google Drive. So here you can see mine. So we're going to be talking about creating these folders. So in your Drive, folders are going to display up at the top, and then all your files that you haven't assigned to a folder yet are going to be at the bottom. So I kind of think of Google Drive almost like a virtual desk. Almost. So I know when I was in the classroom, I would get important pieces of paper all the time. Like someone would hand them to me, I would pick them up at a faculty meeting. I would get papers everywhere, and I would think, oh gosh, this paper is super important. It has great information on it. I really want to go back and be able to look at this later when I have a little bit more time. So I would turn around and I'd just put that paper on my desk thinking, well, I'll get right back to it. And then toward the end of the week, I'd get another important paper. And then next week, I'd get a few more. And then the week after that, a few more. And before you know it, my desk is just a piled mess of 50, 100, 200 jumbled papers that I know are all really important that I wanted to go back and look at. But I just haven't had the time to sit down and do that. And now they're not organized. So if I wanted to find that specific paper that I had at the beginning of the week last week, I know it's on my desk, but who knows where it is. So I think Google Drive can kind of be that same way if you kind of let things pile up on you. So we're going to try and take that away. So what we're going to do, like I said, is work on files and folders. So with these, folders are really something that's super personal to you. So you're going to have to find a system that works for you and your personality and your lifestyle. So here you can see my folders. So I have mine kind of broken down by sort of like topic or task or position. So you can see, like, first I have my teaching folder. So that's from when I came out of the classroom. I made folders, and in my folder I also have subfolders. So I broke down my teaching career into when I was a kindergarten teacher in Mount Washington, and then in the time that I spent in the library at Shepherdsville. So I kind of wanted to keep those files separate, but they both fall under the umbrella of my teaching experience. And so you can see my other folder. So here again, this is my new current position. So anything related to my job now, I'm going to be sticking in this folder. So I can click there, and you can see I've got even more subfolders. So you can literally break down folders into as many subcategories as you need to. So to create a new folder in your Drive, it's super simple. You go over to the New button, click once, and then it's going to drop down this pop-up menu, and the very first option says Folder. So click folder, and then it asks you what you want to call your folder. So this is where you're going to have to kind of do some thinking. So some people like to do it kind of my style and do like different genre kind of folders. Or some people, and this might work best especially in like other positions, but teachers too, you may want to choose to break things down by school year. So you can see in my Drive, I have a sample folder created for the 2018-2019 school year. So I could start putting everything that I've made from this school year into that folder, and I would know that those are my most recent documents. So let's just create another sample folder maybe for last school year. So if you've got a lot of files from previous years, this may be the style that you want to go. So once you type in your title, you can click create, and it's going to automatically pop that folder up in your Drive, and it's going to go ahead and highlight it for you. That way it draws your attention to it really quickly. So if you've got some files down here that you need to organize and you know they go with one of these years, then you can just click that file, see how it turns blue, and then you can drag it up, highlight your folder, let it go, and it's going to automatically move it, and it will pop up on the screen saying that the move has occurred, so you know for sure that that file has gone. So then you can go into that folder, there's my document that I put in there. You can see here's my roadmap in my drive. So I'm in my drive, like my big desk, so to say, and then I'm in my 2017-2018 subfolder. But in a year's time, I mean, how many important documents are you going to get? So you may want to keep breaking that down using more subfolders. So it's the same process. Go to New, click Folder. And let's say if I'm a classroom teacher in the 2017-18-19 school year, I'll probably have some lesson plans. So I can make a folder just for my lesson plans. Then I may want to break that down even more. So I can go into my lesson plans folder. So you can see my little drive map has changed here. I'm in my drive still. I'm still in my 17-18 folder. Now I've opened my lesson plan folder. Let's say I want to break my lesson plans down, so I can go to New again. New folder. Let's say I want a folder just for my reading plans. So then it's going to create as many subfolders as I want it to. So this is kind of, again, where you kind of have to think about your position and your style of organization and think what system is going to work best for you.
All right. Now, one thing that I wish I knew starting off with this is I go to a lot of these teachers and look at some of their folders and stuff, and they're completely blank. And that is an awesome place to start with, because you kind of imagine from that point on, you get to really organize and start moving folders around and deciding, oh, this is where I want to keep this, and this is where I want to keep this. I waited so long to actually jump into Google Drive, and when I got in there, it was just a complete clutter, and it took me a long time to clean up. So if you're new to Google Drive, now is the time to really start planning out and plotting, like, this is where I want to put this, and this is where I want to put that, and really start organizing and working out of there.
Yeah, and I love how she kind of compared it to the teacher desk, like things just kind of come on there. Usually when I'm describing Google Drive to my teachers, I talk about it's like a big binder, but I like her folder connection there. And usually something that I always tell teachers too is before you get in there, because, you know, technology in itself is scary to some, to write it down. Like, how do you think you want your folders to look, you know, and then kind of work it out on paper first and then go into the big Google Drive and, you know, kind of organize it from there.
Oh, absolutely. That's a thing. You talk about the teachers who are the best organized when we first got started. These are the teachers who had these binders, and they had multiple binders, and they would always put these are my assessments, these are my worksheets, these are some of the lessons, alternative lessons. We should be doing the same thing in our Google Drive, just organizing it that way and really sorting it out. And that's going to be our goal with this. And we really thank Callie for introducing that and showing that. I think that's a good starting point for all of us.
Yes, she did a great job on, you know, making it short and sweet and really easy to follow. So she did wonderful.
All right. Well, we want to say thank you for everyone who tuned in, and do follow on with the rest of our series.
Hey, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out some of our additional videos, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the bell so you can keep up to date with all future content. Thank you.